The Movie Bar Podcast.
Now it's time for the feature presentation. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the feature presentation presented by the Movie Bar, the Movie Podcast, exploring the timeless classics that have stood the test of time and those that haven't. Let's start the show. I am your host, John, and I am joined by my best friend and co-host.
Sometimes. Justin.
How you doing this week, buddy?
You're not even going to let me goddamn say the fucking piece that you wrote for me. You didn't even give me a chance. You can't even blame me for that.
I didn't even fill that pot in, but yeah, go ahead.
I was doing great until you did that.
Yeah, you were. I apologize.
We are discussing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Rock on.
Yeah. It's celebrating its 35th anniversary.
Ooh. I don't know when I was 35. Good job.
Do you remember 35 years ago, though? That's the question.
I was 5 years old in kindergarten. My life was great. I hadn't met you yet.
Nope.
But I did have a sister that year, so. But we love you, Christy. Good thing it's really not video anymore, but how you doing this week?
It goes. It was warm here. Still warm.
Yeah, it was pretty nice the last few days. Now we're expecting a nor'easter tomorrow, so should be fucking fun.
Fun with that.
And apparently it's from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., so I'll be at work.
Fine.
Yeah. God, the light really makes me look old, but
At
all
least
right.
It's a college, so you might be able to at least find somewhere to sleep if you get stuck there.
Oh yeah, the break room. I sleep there all the time. I at least take my hour nap there every day. So, but all right, a little bit of housekeeping. So, as we discussed last week, the whole Rock, Roman, Cody Rhodes situation and leading up to WrestleMania 40, they did have their press conference last Thursday, which the Rock, Roman chose the Rock.
What? Oh, sorry.
There was one point where he goes, I'm the champion. I choose who I want. And he chose The Rock, which then brought The Rock out. And he actually showed these Samoan bloodline, only to learn that they're not really cousins. Their grandfathers made a blood pact, which merged the families, apparently. So that was kind of a shocker, and they were interrupted by Cody, who then came out and said that he's made his decision and he chose Roman. And then a lot of back and forth. Cody was insulting Roman's family, and then The Rock intervened and was like, well, you talk about his family, you talk about my family. And he slapped the shit out of Cody, which was kind of funny. But, yeah. So
This whole thing has just gotten stupid.
So last Friday on SmackDown, Paul Levesque, Triple H, came out. He's the chief content officer for WWE at this time. And he said people coming in thinking they can make decisions when the decisions start and end with me, referring to him. So he said it will be Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania. Now, The Rock went on Twitter and was talking about how he is now a heel, a bad guy. And they kind of set up something between Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth. I know they have the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view coming up in 2 weeks. But on Raw tonight, Cody came out and kind of just talked about, why he chose Roman, and Seth Rollins came out and said, he's got his back. He will be his shield, which, as we all know,
yeah.
Yeah. So now Rock and Roman will be on SmackDown Friday. So maybe they'll set up Rock and Cody at the pay-per-view in 2 weeks. This this is unraveling.
It's gotten stupid. Like I'm more and more leaning to Punk was supposed to win the Rumble because the way they've handled this whole Rock situation, which they knew about going into January,
Yeah.
So I think that's what fucked everything up. I think CM Punk fucked everything up.
And I think not only CM Punk, but also Seth Rollins being hurt, losing Brock Lesnar because of this allegations. And
because, during the Rumble, like after Punk hurt himself, when he's standing there, they get that perfect camera shot of him with Cody, and he makes that line about, "Oh, I didn't come back to, lose to Dusty's kid and all that crap."
yeah.
I think right there, that's where I said, well, now I know you're losing, but were you supposed to? After the way this all is handled, because I mean what other reason did he really have to say that in that moment?
Yeah.
So, but the way that they've handled this whole Cody Rock, it's just a cluster.
And I mean, we're still, as of Monday the 12th, we're 57 days away from WrestleMania still. We still have the Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. It'll be on at 2 a.m. your time if you want to get up and watch.
No, it's not going to happen. But I mean, it's like this has been just the messiest build up to a match that they've ever had, and they had Mike Tyson. I mean, he is not known for being the consummate professional in those kinds of things. So it's they got that to work. What the hell did they do with this? The more it plays out, the more it feels like a last minute fumble because of CM Punk and then the Brock and Vince stuff. Like it just seems like all of a sudden it's just this big old pot of shit, and they're just like, oh crap, we need to dig our way out, and they fumbled it.
Well, it goes back to that old saying, trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, I think.
Don't be using Brock. Don't be using Brock lines, man. You'll get canceled.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, it's still it's only been really 2 weeks since the Rumble.
But have you ever seen such a cloudy picture for something this big?
I think it's drawing a lot of hype, and I think it's taking away from another incident that happened recently.
I think that they could have gotten plenty of hype had they built it right and put The Rock, in a position to help. Because right now he's not. He's just fucking there, and people are starting to fucking hate him. Like,
They are
really
hating him. I mean, he's running, he was on Pat McAfee's show last week, and he was like, you have the Cody fans.
Yeah, the Cody crybabies and all that.
The Cody crybabies and Cody's. And what those Cody crybabies are doing are eating chicken nuggets every other tweet. And
right, but I mean, this goes even beyond that, because he was coming back to try and save face after the whole Maui bullshit, and he's still catching shit for that. So
for what?
He is the Maui relief thing. So I mean, he is in a sinking ship right now. The way they're handling this, and it's not digging him out any faster. It's causing a great deal more hate than you'd normally see for heel rock.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll have to see what happens Friday night. So we'll call this Rock Watch going forward.
Because I mean, heel rock gets a lot of hate, but he was still enjoyable. This is like these people are just like they're out for him.
I mean, they're back to chanting Rocky sucks.
Yeah, they've gone all the way back to the Maya Via days.
Yeah. Even like when he was
they're
a bad
one
guy
step
with
away
an ace.
from die Rocky die.
Oh, I'm give it time. Next week that'll probably be.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens Friday and at Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. But in other news, Super Bowl last night. You didn't watch the game, did you?
Hell to the no.
I only watched it for the commercials.
Time.
I'm starting to think that's as scripted as the WWE is.
Who knows? I don't.
And a few people have agreed with my theory. That whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift shit.
Dude, the whole NFL being scripted thing goes all the way back to 2001 with the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Brady and them winning the Super Bowl because they were the Patriots after 9/11. So, I mean, it's nothing new there. Yeah. Nothing new at all.
But
no, I did not watch any of that crap. Although we got to the Chinese food buffet right at halftime show, so I unfortunately had to watch the Has Been show.
I'm telling you, if they had released the video, if they had the guy from the DDPY video, I have to send that to you. That's pretty funny. Dancing to Yeah, that would have been funny. But there were some new trailers. Just start us off.
Trailers. Well, this one was the one that I was most worried about / excited about, and I gotta say the trailer's got a lot of Easter eggs and it looks pretty good, but it'll be Deadpool versus Wolverine. I mean, I like the fact that he's fighting all around the buried 20th Century Fox sign.
I noticed that today.
Yeah.
I rewatched it again at work.
Well, somebody posted a screenshot of that scene where he's on the ground and Wolverine's walking up to him, and that little square to the left of him that you can't see, that's a comic book for the Secret Invasion or the Secret Wars or whatever it was. So they're planting all kinds of fun little things in there.
And lots of like breaking the fourth wall.
Well, that's Deadpool. But yeah. I mean I do like that. I'm not Marvel, Jesus. So we'll see. I mean, the director there made a lot of big claims before this trailer dropped, and I was very worried after his claims. But trailer looks good. It's got some old Fox Studio X-Men characters in there. Pyro is in there, so we'll see.
Let me ask you this. So I was listening to Movie Crip Live on Sunday, and they were kind of discussing the whole superhero, James Gunn trying to reboot DC. And do you think the superhero craze is dead at this point?
I think they beat it into the ground with a hammer. But my biggest lack at the moment is I don't care about any of the heroes that they're featuring in these movies anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them since Spider-Man.
Which
Spider-Man.
No Way Home?
Yeah, the third one there.
Yeah.
The last one there. So, but this will get me back. Deadpool, Wolverine. I want the X-Men. That's my thing. That's been my whole thing. I've always wanted a good quality X-Men movie. I mean, the old ones, for that time, they sufficed then, but now they can do so much more. Now we're gonna get costumes. I want all of it.
Did Wolverine ever wear the yellow costume in any of the movies?
No.
Okay.
No. He alluded to it in the first one. He said, "What do you want me to wear? Yellow spandex?" But he never actually wore any of the costumes.
Yeah, I want
I want the comic accurate
Yeah.
X-Men. I want to see them. I want to see them go to war with the Avengers. I want to see some shit.
Yeah.
I want to see a real apocalypse. That apocalypse in that movie pissed me off. Sorry, Oscar Isaacs, but that sucked.
Yeah. I wasn't big in the comic books. I know you were as kids growing up. You were, big into the X-Men or whatever. But, like, I kind of checked out after the last Avengers movie, Endgame, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean they completed the series. I mean that
Yeah.
was a good long form story, and it was done well. But the problem is, like I said, now it's like I don't really care about any of these heroes that they're throwing up the movies for. I
Yeah.
gave up on Guardians of the Galaxy a while ago. They just kind of got annoying.
Never seen them. Like, if
Um,
I didn't know the character, I wasn't invested in it.
yeah. And I
But
mean, it's they had Iron Man, and there's so much more of Iron Man that could still be fleshed out.
and there's talks of him returning.
So
So,
much more that it's
but I mean, like the Madam Web movie that's
that's
coming
just
out,
such
never
shit.
heard of that.
That's and
I
it's a
I
lot of the
did,
stuff they're doing is just shit. It's
yeah.
shit filler.
And they're looking at all these properties and like, okay, well, this did that, so why can't this do that? Like, I think that's what it comes down to. But
Oh, they were just turning them out so fast because they made so much money,
yeah,
and they got sloppy and lazy with their storytelling. And I mean, it doesn't help that their big bad for this phase is no longer their big bad for this phase because of personal decisions on his part. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see.
yeah,
I wouldn't be mad at just Deadpool movies.
yeah. I enjoy the Deadpool movies. I like the first two, so I was excited when he sent me this, and it looks good. I watched it with a few coworkers today, and they were like, "Wow, that's really what he's like." I said, "Yeah, that's Deadpool." But that's just a teaser. I can't wait for a full length trailer.
Mm.
But I believe that drops in July. Then we have Twisters, the sequel to Twister. Um, I enjoyed the trailer. I like movies like this. I liked Twister. I liked Into the Storm. I like Perfect Storm. I like weather related catastrophes, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the day after tomorrow, that sucked.
And this one, I mean, we'll see. It's tying into the old one a little bit, but not really. And I don't know. We'll see.
And
I didn't really like the way they framed the main character guy in the trailers so far. So we'll
yeah,
see. They
well,
just kind of made him like a dick. Uh,
well, I mean, in the original, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Carrie Elves, he
who?
was a dick. Carrie Elves was a dick,
Yeah,
but not the main character.
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yep. And we've got our next installment in the Sonic series, which recently Jim Carrey did confirm he will be back for the third movie.
Yes.
There is a Knuckles the series coming to Paramount Plus.
Yes.
So I won't see it.
I'll give you the login.
Eh.
I guess it's dropping soon too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know anything about this
Nope.
until I saw the trailer, and I was like, "Holy shit! This could have been a movie, not a fucking series."
Yeah.
But everybody's in it. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. Hunter will be happy. He likes the
I
Sonic
didn't see
movies.
James Marsden. He's the only person I didn't see.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
And I was looking for him.
him and Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's hard to get the
Um,
Hound.
yeah. So be interesting. Maybe we'll do a fresh from the stream when it comes out once the whole series release. That way you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, next is Wicked. Yeah. It's gonna suck. I guess this is
John's
a part one.
John's favorite musicals.
Yeah. Never seen it. Not a fan of The Wizard of Oz. I heard that there's no place like home too many times when I was going to Kansas. So I kind of have a hatred for The Wizard of Oz. But people will watch it.
Musicals. Anyway, our next one was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, this looks interesting.
Yeah,
My kind of planet. Nothing but monkeys.
I don't think I've watched any of them since the first reboot.
I think I've watched the second one.
I think it was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then
Rise.
Rise, and then Dawn, and then War, and now Kingdom.
Yeah, I didn't see the third one.
Talk about beating a dead horse, but hey, it'll make money.
It started off, all humans, one
Yeah.
monkey. We got to a little bit more monkey, still lots of humans, and I don't know about the third one, but now we're at monkey, few human.
Yes.
So that's the way it goes.
So, and then a Quiet Place Day One. I know there were two other Quiet Places. Have you seen those?
I have not.
Um,
I am not a big fan of movies that don't have a lot of talky, soundy.
well, this one seems to have a lot of talky, soundy.
Yeah, see, I kind of like the idea of them going back and showing the initial invasion in a movie like this because that just never happens. Normally, we just, we get the part we get, and that's it. So that should be interesting.
Kind of like the Purge movies, how they went back and showed the first Purge, about 3 or 4 movies deep. So, yeah, I'll be checking this one out. I'm looking forward to it. So I thought I would introduce a new segment, Mr. 2023 Movie Trivia Champion, where I'm going to ask you a trivia question, but I'm not going to tell you the answer until next week. So our fans can play along and leave in the comments what they think the answer is.
Okay.
So I picked an easy one for you. I'm sure you'll get this.
Okay.
What 80s horror movie features the line, "They're here"?
That's one of the alienish movies. What you say? 80s?
Yep.
I'm not saying Alien. I'm not. No, I don't mean that Alien.
Okay.
I mean Space Invader, Alien.
10 seconds. Give me an answer.
I can picture the girl saying it.
What is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so
because I remember it now. I remember the girl. I remember the TV. I remember the static. I just had to picture her.
So next week we will give the answer and see if Justin was correct.
Why? I already gave the answer.
You might be wrong.
But I'm not.
Listen here, you cocky, arrogant prick.
Hey, if you wanna fling the new trivia shit at me, get prepared because that's a victory.
Well, we'll find out next week. Moving on. What you watch this week, buddy?
Victory. I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Baker.
The Baker?
Ron Perlman on Hulu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was interesting. It was pretty good.
Okay.
And then I watch TV shows. So yeah, I don't watch very many movies.
Okay. So I was working on it.
Well, I guess I watched Mrs. Doubtfire. I guess you can add that. I kind of had it on in the background today.
Yeah, I had a few movies on in the background while I worked on my movie collection, putting them in the bins, which I am done with now. I ended up with 22 bins, about 90 in each. And I typed up a list, and I have a nice little binder that shows all what's in what. So, but I did watch a few movies. I watched Urban Legend. Actually, I watched Poison Ivy: The New Seduction, the one with what the fuck's her name? Jamie. I fucking drawing a blank right now. I'm looking right at her too, but I watched that. I watched Urban Legend. Then I watched a movie, Shot Caller. It's on Netflix. It's about a guy, I guess he kills a friend drunk driving, gets a DUI, supposed to go to jail for 7 months, ends up spending more time in jail, gets out, and kind of pushes his family away to go back. It was interesting. And then I watched The Other Woman with Cameron Diaz and... What are you doing? Then I watched...
I'm not on video. I can do whatever I want. Whee!
That's true, yeah. Then I watched The Invisible Man from 2020. I'd never seen it. I wanted to watch it, but I'd never...
was interesting. I haven't seen the very beginning of it. I saw most of it, though.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's a 2-hour...
backstory than the original Invisible Man. Although not as good as the memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Never seen the memoirs.
Really?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase?
Oh, I'll have to check it out then. Then I watched Back to the Future. Little Giants. I haven't seen that in forever, and I know you watched it a while back, and it came up as like coming up next, so I was like, oh, fuck it, yeah, I'll watch it. Like, I forgot how fun that movie was. Then I remember in the old VHSs when you bought it, you got NFL Team Pogs. I went down that rabbit hole this week. Then I got into watching some Joe Bob, The Last Drive-In on Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to watch the Valentine's Day special from last year where two fans got married with Joe Bob as the priest. But to watch that, I had to watch the movie Necromaniac from 1988. Subtitles and a dude fucking corpses.
Your kind of movie.
No.
Sounds like a happy Valentine's Day.
No. Not even fucking close. I was quite disturbed watching this movie. So, of course, after that, I was like, okay, I have to watch something that'll, like, not fucking scar me. So I watched All Hallows Eve with Joe Bob. You know, Art the Clown's first movie. And then I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, yep, that's what I watched this week, which puts me at 59 movies for the year already. And we're only a month and a half in. I got this shit this year. I'm trying to 500 this year. But now it's time for the feature presentation this week.
Now, a motion picture so grand, so magnificent, and so vast, it spans 7,000 years.
No way! Yes way!
But it starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston!
Who was Joan of Arc?
And Ted.
Noah's wife? We're in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow.
A a force from the future,
Can we go anywhere we want at any time?
You can do anything you want.
is putting history at their fingertips.
Let's reach out and touch someone.
They're traveling through time,
How's it going, Royal Ugly Dudes?
Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Excellent!
Execute them.
Bogus. How's it going, dude?
Faites-les jeter au l'air.
and they're making a big impression.
Historical babes.
Now they're home
Everybody get together, remember who your buddy is.
to trash the 20th century.
You got a live one here.
Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, Napoleon,
We're from history.
Billy the Kid, Joan of Arc, Sigmund Freud,
Tell me about your mother.
You a musician?
Beethoven,
Genghis Khan!
Abraham Lincoln,
Party on, dudes!
Socrates, George Carlin,
We're history.
If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes!
Bill and Ted's
Excellent! Excellent!
Excellent Adventure.
Party on, dude.
We will be discussing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, released on February 17th, 1989, directed by Stephen Herrick, had a box office of $40.5 million, had a sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and Bill and Ted Face the Music, had a budget of about $10 million. My fucking thing froze, god damn it. All types of technical difficulties tonight. It was distributed by Orion Pictures, Embassy Pictures, De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, is rated PG, has a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it is currently streaming on Max as well as for purchase on all streaming sites.
You strained very hard not to say Laurinaitis on that one.
I did. I almost said it too.
Our cast of characters. We have Alex Winter as Bill S. Preston Esquire, and Keanu Reeves as Ted Theodore Logan, because they are the Wild Stallions. And then we have, rest in peace, George Carlin as Rufus, Terry Camilleri as Napoleon Bonaparte, Dan Shore as Billy the Kid, Tony Steedman as Socrates, or Socrates, Rod Loomis as Sigmund Freud, Al Long as Genghis Khan, Jane Weedlin as Joan of Arc, Robert V. Barron as Abraham Lincoln, Clifford David as Ludwig von Beethoven, Hal Landon Jr. as Captain Logan, Ted's and Deacon's father, Bernie Casey as Mr. Ryan, Bill and Ted's history teacher, Amy Stock Poynton as Missy, Billy's stepmom, J. Patrick McNamara as Mr. Preston, Bill's father, Fraser Bain as Deacon Logan, Ted's younger brother, John Carlson as Evil Duke, Diane Franklin as Princess Joanna, Kimberly LaBelle as Princess Elizabeth, and Clarence Clemens, Martha Davis, and P-Way Bill as the three most important people in the world. Boy, howdy, is this an 80s movie?
Yes. First off, I want to say the accent that those two had, like, like surfing dude, like, annoyed the shit out of me. I'm getting old.
You
But yeah,
you gotta be excellent.
Yeah, man. Don't forget to wind your watch, dude. Yeah. What your initial take of this movie? And I know we've both watched. Actually, I don't know if I've ever really sat through this whole movie before. As shocking as it seemed, but I don't remember anything from this movie.
Wow.
I've owned it for years.
Wow, I mean, I've watched this a lot. I will admit I've seen the second one more than the first
Don't think I've ever. I might have seen the second one
one.
once when I was a kid.
On!
I haven't seen the third one.
No, I haven't seen the third one.
Something about two dudes being in their 40s trying to fucking,
Hey,
face the
man.
music, man.
For their daughters.
Yeah. But so obviously you have seen this movie many times.
Yes. I
So,
love this movie. It's a good movie. George Carlin in it.
yeah. He was also on Thomas the Tank Engine. Did you watch that all the time?
No, I was a little old for that, but when it was on and I knew it was him, yeah, I'd watch him.
That's
Come
odd
on,
to
John.
think that he
You're
was
not
on
a
fucking.
Ziggy, Biggie, Ziggy, Biggie, Ziggy, Biggie.
That made me laugh though. That scene was funny.
And that goddamn movie missed all of Napoleon's water park charades like they show in this one. So screw that big budget Napoleon movie. You should watch Bill and Ted.
Yeah. So let's talk about each of the historical figures that Bill and Ted go back to. Bring them back for their history project, man.
I gotta tell you, I am sure as shit glad I never had to give any kind of goddamn project like that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a assembly where they give
No.
presentations like that. Normally, I don't even think actually no. What was that thing we did in sixth with the eye project in sixth grade? Where we
I
had
remember all that crap, but I don't remember the end of it.
I think like we just presented it in class or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I did Lou Gehrig's disease, and you had to have like pamphlets and fucking dioramas and all this other shit.
Wow. Do you remember that? I do not remember. But probably because I didn't spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah. I had a personal connection to that, so I was.
Well, I know, but it was a project. I didn't do homework very much.
Yeah. I remember when I was in college, I had to do like a speaking project, and we got to choose any topic we wanted. We had to let her know like at the beginning, like before the middle of the semester, and present it at the end. So I was like, okay, I'll do Blu-rays. So, but
Did you just stand there and list all the ones you have?
no, I talked about like the history of Blu-rays, why they're better than DVDs, and it was interesting. It'd be cool if I could find it, but that's long fucking gone. That's on a laptop somewhere in the trash.
That's funny because I actually saw on Reddit the other day like an ad for the first CD, and the guy was like, "You can touch it, and it will not damage it." And I could just remember saying, "Don't fucking touch the underside of the disc. You put your fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna skip."
Oh, kids these days don't know the troubles we had. Now all their music's on their phones. But yeah. So let's talk about Napoleon first. They obviously go back to France.
They accidentally pull him back.
Yeah, he actually falls out of the sky into a tree, and they leave Deacon in charge of watching him while they go retrieve other historical figures.
Never a good idea to leave a dictator attended by a child who doesn't speak the same language. I mean, this movie, let's just face it, this movie is fraught, just fraught with time travel issues up the yin yang.
Yes. We will be discussing that.
Let's just take into account that if they showed up in Napoleon's times, they'd have been dead. Dead quickly.
Yes.
Boy, that would have been bad.
Yeah. And it's funny, the only time they fucking really got in trouble was when they went to England and tried to meet the princesses, and they were going to get beheaded for it. But So Napoleon hangs out with Deacon. They go to the ice cream place, eats that big ass fucking bowl of ice cream.
Ziggy, biggy, ziggy, biggy.
And I love when they throw the sticker above his medals. Like, that's a fucking insult and a half.
And he's at the water park.
Yeah, he goes to the water park and gets pushed down the slide. Loves it so much, he cuts in line. He,
Ah,
like when he picks up the little kid about to go down and fucking.
pushes him off to the side.
So, and then after that, he doesn't go to the mall though.
No, they come from the mall and grab him
Yes.
because his brother left him all unattended.
Oh, the bowling. Yes, it was
Yeah.
bowling. They went bowling, and he's fixing the fucking sheet. Adds 100 points to his score, and the kids are like, "Fuck this, we're out."
Yeah.
So that's like the most we get of with Napoleon. Then you have Genghis Khan.
Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of him. I mean, it was pretty funny watching him go ape shit in the mall. Baseball bat.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the mall scene separately. Then we have Abraham Lincoln, Honest Abe, Socrates, Socrates, Billy the Kid. I love when they go into the saloon and they're like, 2 bears, please. And they didn't even card us. We got to remember this place.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like just like them walking around then.
Yeah.
They'd get shot. Pretty quickly.
Especially the way they're dressed, and
yeah,
it's different, and people don't like different shit.
New, especially not back then.
And
although at that point they'd be really fucked. That phone booth would be there. Ooh boy.
Okay. So Rufus's character comes back from the year 2688.
Mm-hmm.
Phone booths are time machines now.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are in 2024, and I couldn't find a fucking phone booth if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
But water slides are in. Bowling,
as long as they're not exploding.
Yes. That fucking blew my mind today. There's a video on Reddit where this where was it? Sweden.
Yeah, it wasn't open yet.
Yeah, it fucking exploded. Like, we watched it, me and a coworker, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how does something with water explode like that? But I don't know. Yeah, but bowling is up, mini golf is down. And I know.
Bowling scores up, mini golf scores it down. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So, and Rufus is this badass dude from the future.
Who's got it made in the future and says that now he has to come back so as not to mess up what they got. But
yeah, they got to finish the history report.
If they mess it up, then he already wouldn't have what he's got.
Yes.
So, like, it's in and of itself a terrible goddamn paradox.
So, as we learn in Back to the Future, you shouldn't interact with yourself in the future or the past.
Any of it.
Yeah. So, I was kind of thinking that as I was watching this movie, like, Back to the Future, you can't interact
more
with
than that. It's just the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Kill a butterfly. It can change anything. I mean, he fucking landed next to that porta-john. That guy, he's done. He's the world's first fucking crackpot. Right there. He's the first guy to get shunned from that goddamn colony saying weird space things are coming. He started a trend.
And to pull these characters, Abe Lincoln, Genghis Khan, Beethoven,
It blew their
Sigmund
fucking
Freud,
minds.
and it did. But wouldn't that change history?
Yes, 100,000%.
But yet, so they bring all these historical figures to a mall, and you have Beethoven seeing an electric keyboard, and all of a sudden he's playing fucking 7 of them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You have Socrates and Billy the Kid trying to pick up chicks in the food court. And Sigmund Freud joins in the fun, and they're just like, what a bunch of geeks.
Abraham Lincoln off getting his picture taken.
Yeah, and then fighting the guy in the fucking old photo booth because...
Which, if he did, he'd have fucking killed him because he was a wrestler. He'd fuck you up.
He wrestled the bear, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he never told a lie. And he's like, all right, give me the beard in the head. He's like, well, this is my beard in the head. I am Abraham Lincoln. And then you got Genghis Khan, who goes from a club to a fucking aluminum baseball bat and proceeds to beat the shit out of a mannequin and take up skateboarding.
Talented, that Genghis is.
Yeah. Now, when he goes back in time, he's going to try to fucking create something like a fucking skateboard. And so all the historical figures, with the exception of Napoleon, get arrested by Ted's dad, who still hasn't found his fucking keys.
Yep.
And the fact that they're outside, Bill and Ted are outside the police station, and, well, you know, we went back in time and took the keys and put them right here, and then magically the keys show up. Like, so many things.
That's kind of the way time travel's supposed to work. But, like, their own paradoxes are what make it not work.
Yes. And they set up a ruse in the fucking police station so they're able to save the historical people. And then when he's like, man, I wish we had remember the trash bin. And all of a sudden the trash bin drops from the sky on the fucking Ted's dad, who's trying to send him to military school too. And like the whole concept of fucking time travel gets fucked up in this one movie.
Always does.
And then they bring back the princess. So the history presentation, they make it just in time, make it like a concert. And they have all these historical figures and they pass, and nobody's fucking none the wiser. Like, everybody thinks it's the coolest thing ever that they hired all these actors, and then all of a sudden this fucking phone booth disappears. Like, I'd have a few questions.
I would have more than a few.
What the fuck was that? How the fuck did that happen? And are these really those people that they say they are?
I have more than that. I mean, it's an 80s time travel movie.
So it wasn't Back to the Future, but they fucking got it right.
No, they didn't.
Okay. We're not getting into that debate.
And none of them get it right. You can't get it right. It can't be done.
Well, if somebody created time travel,
it can't be done.
When they go back in time and tell them, hey, this is what happens, and
it would have already been done.
I know. So obviously time travel is out.
It can't be done.
Maybe our great-great-great-grandchildren might go back in time. Know. You're right, we would. See? So there's never going to be any time travel. I hate to break it to people, but... So, the end of the movie...
although I got a good theory, I'll tell you off of the podcast.
Oh, is this something I can record and put it on? Like
No.
Okay.
No. We'll get canceled very quickly.
Okay. So the end of the movie, and Bill and Ted are back to their normal lives. They've traveled through time. They've gotten lost. They've met all these
Still don't know how to
historical
play
things.
guitar.
Still don't make it big. You know, they need. I forget who they said they need.
Van Halen. Eddie Van
Ben,
Halen.
yeah. And Rufus shows back up. And the fact that there's so many fucking time machines, like, there must be a common thing in the future. I don't know. I have so many questions, but so he brings the two princesses back, and then asks them to sign a CD of Wild Stallions. And it turns out that Bill and Ted are super famous in the future from when they stopped by the three most important people in the world. And yeah.
See, that's the thing. Having watched the second one more than the first one, you forget that the first one has absolutely really nothing to do with them playing music at all. Whereas the second one is like all about it.
Really? I'll have to go back and revisit Bogus Journey. And maybe
Bogus Journey is definitely better. Just there's more to it. You know, better budget. All that.
And so after signing the CDs, with the princesses are also in the band now.
Yeah, they are. Gotta have a drummer, right?
Rufus has one final request. Can he jam out with them? And never once did you see a frame of George Carlin's face playing the guitar. They could have faked it. They could have faked it.
Could have done a lot of things. Could have researched
yes.
time travel a little bit better.
True. But based on the two characters, I understand why it was like this. Because it was probably some stoner dude sitting back.
It's meant to be fun. That's all it's meant to be.
Yeah. Which it was a fun movie. How about the length? About an hour, 30 minutes. I think it was
typical.
It was right on the bat. You know, they didn't show them going back and stealing the keys. They didn't show them putting the ruse in the police. You know, a lot of stuff is left to the imagination, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, movies like this, I mean, if you could just go all day with different things, I mean, so they left it to what they needed to.
Yeah. What would have made this movie better, in your sense?
I mean, now, watching it now, I would say better attention to how things actually work in the big wide world. But I don't know. The movie's pretty good for what it is.
Yeah. I think if they did a little bit more research, but I mean, for what it is, it felt to me like a mix of Wayne's World and Back to the Future.
Wayne's World came out after this.
I know, but being that it's 2024 now.
I mean, it's a high school stoner movie.
I'm not a stoner, so maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it like as much as I probably should have.
You don't have to be a stoner to find them funny.
Yeah, and I mean, there was certain part, like the Napoleon running around, that made me laugh, but it was the two accents that they had that fucking drove me crazy.
I mean, that's Keanu Reeves, man. That's late 80s and early 90s Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. What was your favorite scene in the movie?
I do like CP. Favorite? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the ice cream shop there with Napoleon.
I think
So out of place.
everything Napoleon did was out of place. Everything they all did was out of
but
place.
as he got more used to it, he kind of opened
Yeah.
his eyes to it. So.
But I'd say between the water park and Genghis Khan fucking up shit in the mall. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. How about ratings?
I would give it. I'd give it a 3.5.
I'm going with 2.5. Mostly based off of the accents and so many questions left unanswered.
Well, IMDb gave it a 6.9. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 82%. And Letterboxd was with me at about a 3.6 out of 5. Boy, oh boy. Next week. Ooh, there's a next week?
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be covering a 20th anniversary of 50 First Dates starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Maybe I'll actually watch this movie all the way through for the first time ever.
Come on. It's one of my father's favorite movies. I mean,
I have never watched it all the
really?
way through. I've always fallen asleep.
Well, try to watch it.
Or gotten distracted because generally that movie I wasn't watching by myself. It's funny that your screen froze.
You guys couldn't see that,
perfect
but
time.
yeah. Oh my God. No. Oh, I'm gonna
Someone's got to be the entertaining part of this story here.
It's not your current wife, is it?
This was years ago. It's 20 years old, man.
Well, I happen to like this movie. I think it's funny. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I believe this was the second time they collaborated
I
after The
honestly
Wedding
have
Singer.
no idea how that movie ends.
Well, you're in for a treat, okay? So it'll be like you're watching it for the first time.
Oh, it'd be just like the plot of the movie.
Yeah, you've watched it. You don't fucking remember it, so yeah. All right. That's a wrap, folks. Thanks for joining us today.
But before we go, don't go any further. Before we go, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most places you listen to your podcasts, which you are listening to right now if you're hearing this anyway.
And don't forget to follow us on social media and stay up to date on the future episodes and join the conversation. You can find us on Twitter/X at the Movie Bar Pod, and on Instagram at Movie Bar Podcast, and on YouTube and TikTok at the Movie Bar Pod, and at the Movie Bar Podcast on Facebook. Tag us, share your favorite movie moments, and suggest films you want us to cover next, even though we're kind of booked up for the next 4 months.
Well, that's how it goes. But do you have a suggestion? Do you want to say hello? Drop us an email at themoviebar@outlook.com.
Until next time, keep the popcorn popping and the reels rolling. Catch you next week on the feature presentation presented by the Movie Bar.
Boy.
Rock on.